Hello there beautiful people and welcome to OTT Gamers and another edition of GT6 Baron's Drift School Lesson 2. Now this week we're going to be doing a little bit something more advanced. Obviously the last episode we went and did with a little Sylvia and something nice and easy. This time we're going to go step it up a level and move on to the 350Z. The car settings so you can apply this to your own. And while I'm running through the setup it'll probably take this chance to tell you about the upcoming lessons. Now, next lesson after this will be, oops sorry I forgot to move down there. Next lesson will be a 4-wheel drive class. After that we will have a hillbilly class, which I know will please a few of you out there, which will involve a pickup truck. And finally, well maybe not finally but definitely after that we're going to be doing a insane class, which is a Pagani Huayra. Yeah, I know, Pagani Huayra, yes I know. That's why it's called the Insane Class, because it's Pagani Huayra. Also simple. Now, today I'm going to be going on to Suzuka East Coast, so it's something a little bit more of a step up. The hardest thing of this track is the first corner, but hopefully I can guide you through how to get around the first corner, so hopefully that will be such a challenge for you in the future. If I can get over the challenge of finding it, can you? Once again we'll go over to the driving options. This is all the same as you would have seen previously in lesson number 1. The only difference I think, no I don't think there's any difference at all, even the same tyres. So now we'll try this corner, I'm going to be quiet, I'm going to get it perfect hopefully, and then I'll tell you what I did straight away after. See, that's of course I'm just doing that to prove if Baron shuts up, because I can't do two things at once, I can really drift. When I'm trying to talk to you guys, I'm not using you as an excuse, sort of. It's just that corner, I can explain it much better because it's a very complicated corner. It's got a lot of different stages to it. The entry was an opposite entry, so it was a flick entry from the wrong side of going from the right to the left, and obviously back into the right of the corner. And then once it's turned, I've been just tapping the brake a little bit, and obviously full opposite lock, and then shift up a gear, like I've said already before, to spread it out wide and then bring it back in when you drop down a gear. But when you run out wide on your left hand side, when you're first through the first stage of that corner and you're going through the intermediate bit between the first and second corner, you have that rumble strip. You can barely see it from here. I could just drive up to it, not too nice. And when you saw my car go wide and you heard it go onto the rumble strips, I was fully cautious. You have to be like a meerkat in the wild, stood there being on alert. You can't be going flat out when you've not got equal amount of grip, because that's just completely unsettling the balance of the car. So that was this full cautious mode, and then just a case of get your tongue out and get it around that second corner. Now one thing we're going to do now on this next sector is we're going to show you how to get more angle while still confidently holding it. Now I'm not just saying get more angle and then we go into a spin. I mean full as much angle as we can get out of the setup without being scared. We're going to do a usual entry. I'll do a power over into it, or power out. You really need to put the word for that. Now I'm holding it in third gear, feathering the throttle and opposite lock. Now what I'm going to do is on the next corner, the left hand rear, I'm going to completely select the back end out. All that is I've mentioned in the previous lesson, let go of the steering, you're holding opposite lock, right now I'm holding it opposite lock. So if I let go, there you go, how it just lets the back end come out more. Well, that's all you've got to do, but the main thing to make it confidence inspiring, so you don't actually feel worried about doing it, is to do very gentle throttle inputs. Same with steering, very gentle. It's very easy to do gentle inputs if you're on a steering wheel. But if you're doing this on a controller, you're going to have to just be very sensitive with your little thumbs and your little fingers. Unless you've got giant freakishly large hands. Let's do a little 360, full opposite lock, tap the brakes into reverse, into second. Full opposite lock for when it comes out of the swing. I don't know why I did that, I wasn't planning to teach you that, I just thought I'd do it. Let's do this corner again. Tap the brakes, opposite entry, 4th gear, ease off the throttle, full opposite lock, easing off the lock a little bit of handbrake, bit of brake, into 3rd, full opposite lock. Now let go of the opposite lock to let the back end come out. Yeah, another quick tip. When you're about to start off drifting, on any track, any car, you do need to get heat in your front tyres. Until you've got some heat in your front tyres, you're going to find it, well, you're not going to find the grip level. Get your words out, you tits. Yeah, you're not going to have the same levels of grip that you would do with hot tyres on the front and back, so don't expect it to be as good when you first come out for the first initial few corners. Right, let's go into this 4th gear, then we're going to drop a gear, mid-entry, ooh, that sounds bad. Drop a gear when we go out of the first stage of the corner into the second before you get into the second corner. We're going to push up a gear to help push out before entering the second corner. And then we're going to brake gently and then drop a gear and power out into the second corner. Hopefully this all goes to plan and there isn't no slip. We're going to do a flick entry, at which point you tap the brakes when the body weight aims towards the corner again. So I flicked it, I've tapped the brake. Now I'm up a gear to spread it out wide. Just pulled the handbrake a little bit there, now back into 4th, back into 3rd. Just feathering the throttle, full opposite lock. Now I'll explain why I changed gears so many times there, was because I use the gears to affect how long the drift is. So I kick up a gear to extend the drift, to make it longer, drop a gear and brake a little bit to shorten it, of course. So this is why I don't recommend you use automatic. Use manual, will just help you a lot more. Like for instance right here, I can stick it to 3rd, just power out. And while we're on the advanced noob section, this is a good technique. So this is one technique we'll be working on in this lesson. All this is power out. That's all it is. All you're doing is controlling the opposite lock, covering the brakes for points like this where you want to transition. I'll shift up into 4th to extend it, and I'll drop back into 3rd to hug the inside of the corner. Now I'm pushing it back up into 4th and pushing it wide. It really is this simple. I mean, this is one of the easiest techniques you can learn, especially in your early stages of your drifting career. This is probably a great technique to adopt. It does mean that sometimes you can't drift all of the corners. Sometimes it means you only drift from halfway of the corner outwards. So I'll try and show you an example of power out, but going into the first corner, which is much trickier. I've lifted off the throttle and it's still running wide, but I can still keep it, drop into 3rd. I'm feathering the opposite lock here, just playing with it nice and gently, just flat out. And it will straighten itself up nice and easily, as long as you don't put too sudden input on the steering. Same again, power down, back end out, get ready to catch it opposite lock. So right now I'm holding the steering left, now I've flipped it to right, I'm feathering the throttle, I'm getting ready to drop on the brakes in case I need to drop down again, like now. Hopefully you enjoyed the Nissan 350Z, hopefully you enjoyed today's tutorial. Goodbye! Let the power overtake the front a little bit. Ooh, too much. Baron! 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 What are you doing, you fool?